There's nothing like a new set of sheets, and I just got the classic organic percale sheet set from Quince in white. It is classic. It is luxe. It is so comfortable. Whether you run hot or cold, these sheets feel perfect. It's luxury at the right temperature and at the right cost. Quince is everything you need to bring that warm seasonal upgrade to your home. Breathable bedding, like I just got, handcrafted furniture, premium woven rugs, and elevated curtains that pull the whole space together. I'm so impressed by the finishes from Quince. The linens feel luxe, the silk curtains look high-end, the sheets are fantastic, and all the materials are built to last. By partnering directly with ethical factories and top artisans, Quince cuts out the middleman to deliver premium quality at half the cost of other high-end brands. Elevate your space this fall with beautiful home essentials from Quince. Go to quince.com/DTT for free shipping on your order and 365-day returns. That's Quince, QUINCE.com/DTT to get free shipping and 365-day returns. Quince.com/DTT.
Why choose a Sleep Number smart bed?
Can I make my site softer?
Can I make my site firmer?
Can we sleep cooler?
Sleep Number does that. Cools up to 8 times faster and lets you choose your ideal comfort on either side. Your Sleep Number setting. Enjoy personalized comfort for better sleep night after night. And now, max out your savings. The more you buy, the more you save on beds, bases, and more. Plus, get free home delivery on any smart bed with base. Limited time. Check it out at a Sleep Number store near you or at sleepnumber.com today.
It's time to fall back. Hi, I'm Anita Joyce here with Kelly Wilkness, and this is Decorating Tips and Tricks. Today's episode is Fall Back Decorating, a Time for Comfort. And I don't know about you, Kelly, but I am down for cooler weather and comfort decorating.
I am definitely in the mood for all of that as well. And we've got some great ideas about what you can do in your own home. You don't even have to buy anything new, just to take advantage and make the best of the days getting shorter.
That's right. And that's what I like about our episode today. I know people love to get links from us on specific products, and we love doing that for you. But sometimes it's nice to also have an episode like today's where, in general, this really does not require buying something. Most of the stuff we're talking about, hopefully, you have in your house. And I think that's also nice. When prices are going up and everything's just crazy expensive, let's try to use what we have. And so my first idea is to make sure you have plenty of lamps in your house and turn them on when it gets dark. Have that lamp light on, maybe some fairy lights for some dreamy evenings at home. And how about some candles? Just all this soft lighting is so nice, and the warmness of the yellow light is just so calming to your body. The blue light, I mean, we already know blue light is kind of almost like an excitotoxin. It kind of wakes you up. It's not helping gear you down for sleep.
Excitotoxin. I've never heard that.
Well, there are things called excitotoxins, but we won't get into that today. But
yeah, let's not get into that.
There are things that
I don't think
overstimulate
that's on brand for us, Anita.
No. Well, that's why I'm just kind of using it as a phrase here. But right, so you want a calming light, which would be yellow light. So if you have the blue lights on in your house, you might want to switch to more. I know incandescent's going away, so maybe stock up or go with some lights where they're tinted yellow. Because I think you can buy even an LED that has kind of a yellow tint to it. I mean, that's what we're looking for in your house. And, if you want a candle, but you don't want to deal with the flame, the smoke, the dripping wax, the battery operated ones are great too. So I think it's just about getting some cozy lighting in your house where you're not just going by the overhead lighting and you're not living by that blue LED light.
Yeah, lighting is the top of my list today as well. You look around your house, go into your cabinets and your cupboards in the back of your closets. Maybe you tucked away an extra lamp that you weren't using. Maybe it's time to bring it out and light up a dark corner. I really have disdain for dark corners any time of year, but certainly when you look at your clock and it's 5:15 and it's really dark out, you're going to want to have these little lights going on around your house and a little welcoming light in your entryway is such a great way to step into your home, especially if you're coming home and it's dark out, or if you're home and somebody else is coming in, or just a little beacon of light that you can see through the front windows. It's really cozy. And for all the later dog walkers, and you kind of get to see in the house, which I absolutely love. So if somebody's got a little light on, you can really see what's going on and see how they've arranged their furniture and get some ideas. So start with lighting. I agree with Anita. Dimmers. Now, if you don't have dimmers yet, you really need them. So, I mean, I know we're not really supposed to be talking about purchasing things today, but if you don't have dimmers, think about adding them. You don't have to do every single light in your house, but if possible, do every single light in your house and put it on a dimmer. You're going to be much happier. The chargeable lights are great. Now, if you've got some, fantastic, because you can tuck them in anywhere. If you don't have them, again, I'm kind of breaking the rule. You can think about getting one of them. You don't have to get one today. But the chargeable lights, I've had just a great experience with them. And I can link to the company I've been purchasing from.
I have to tell you, I bought your crush the other day. The lights that have the metal shades that are short, that you recharge. Yes. And I put them in the kitchen. Very nice.
Very nice, right? Did you use the company I mentioned?
Oh, yes. Now, I will say I got the gold ones, and they're a little on the orange side, so they may end up with some spray paint before this is all done. But I like the concept, and I think they're going to be great.
Which one you got? Because I'm looking at mine right now, and mine is decidedly brushed gold, not orange at all.
Oh, okay. But I used your link, so...
Oh, okay. So
I don't know. Maybe I purchased the wrong one.
Well, also, as we know, in different settings, depending on how the other lights are coming into your house, they may look a little different, but mine's the Geraldine and the brushed gold, and we can add that link again. We can refresh it. So definitely light up a dark corner. Use a lamp that you have. If you don't have an outlet there, a chargeable lamp is great, but even just a simple battery operated candle or a real candle, but don't leave the house with the real candle going, please. Edison bulbs can be a great substitution for now for the nice, warm pink light.
Now are those going away as well?
The pink light bulb for a period of time was a specialty bulb, but since it was the same as an incandescent bulb, but just a little bit of a different color, it did not retain that categorization. Sad, but true. So they should have had a good lawyer. I could have put my lawyer hat back on and represented the pink light bulbs as special. Let's go on to the next thing, which is kind of related to having some nice lighting and lighting up dark little corners in your home. Create a reading nook. Such a nice place to go or even walk by and look at when you're in your house. A chair, a side table, a stack of books. It does not have to be anything fancy. And I dare say a lot of people listening probably have sad, empty corners or a corner that you just put some table in and it doesn't really do anything for the rest of the room and you're not really utilizing it. You just had the table and you had the corner and they sort of came together. So think about creating an actual spot that you'd want to go sit in and read a book or flip through a magazine or, be on your iPad or what have you. All you need are those three things. You need a chair, you need a side table, and you need some lighting. And you're done.
Oh, well, I so agree with that. It's so cozy. And even if you don't have time to really sit there and enjoy it, you will enjoy just walking by the look of this sitting area where you can read because it's just so inviting, so cozy, so warm. Yes, when I was working nonstop and had no chance to even sit down for a second, I still enjoyed walking past those places in my house.
Exactly.
There.
Comfort goals. If it's not there, you'll never sit there. But if it's there, you might sit there. Think about it that way.
Right. It's possible. And definitely I've just slowed my life down so that I could enjoy life a little bit more. It was just too crazy. So, so if you don't have time to sit, maybe see if there's something you can change in your life where you do have time to sit and enjoy a good book in your reading nook. What about a beautiful blanket or throw to use in your house? Hopefully you already have one. And again, we're not I mean, the focus is not on buying.
It's really hard.
Well, but the point I was trying to make about the not buying stuff is we're not pointing to specific products, or it's not something where you need to go buy something expensive. So I'm really kind of hoping you already have a beautiful blanket or throw. But if you don't and you can afford it, go grab one. But I think those are beautiful to have over the back of a sofa. You can also enjoy them draped over a table. That's why I love a beautiful throw. It has so many uses. You can drape it over a chair and then wrap up in it. And I have some decorative throws sitting around my house, and boy, was I wrapped up in my decorative throw last night and used it for the intended purpose because it was really cold in the house. So I think it's so nice to have these. And if it's not too chunky, then if it's kind of flat, then it's nice to use as a table runner or a tablecloth. If it is chunky, then you probably don't want to set anything on it, but you certainly can still use it across a table. I've even seen people use cowhide rugs draped over a table. So there's a lot of things you can do to just add that coziness. And I actually have there's a very thin rug that I have that, well, it was kind of a decorating mistake. It's a white cotton rug with a blue stripe. That was yes, it was getting dirty. So I washed it and then just folded it up, and it's actually over the back of my sofa, and it looks great there. So, it can even be...
I like that idea.
Right, but it really looks more like a blanket than a rug. So, a nice little rug you could use on your table as well. So these are very flexible. You can use them for a lot of different things, and then maybe when you're not using it on the table, fold it up and put it at the foot of a bed.
Yeah, I'm kind of really hooked on that idea because I have a cotton rug that I've been so hesitant to use on the ground because I know it's going to get dirty. It's black and white stripes, kind of big stripes. I'm not such a stripes person, so maybe that's why I'm hesitant too, but it's a big rug. So did you just throw yours in the washing machine and it came out okay?
Well, this was too big to go. I actually soak them in my tub. That's how I wash my rugs. Yeah, you kind of fold them up accordion style.
Oh, that's old school. Do you beat them too out in the yard?
Well, I did hang them over my porch railing to dry. Yeah, these are big rugs. Yeah. But if it's a smaller rug, I think you could absolutely throw it in your washing machine.
Yeah.
And so I had to fold it up a little bit to make it work on my sofa.
Oh, yeah, but that's a great idea. I believe in miracles. Specifically, the Jones Road Beauty Miracle Balm. This is the best makeup I have ever used, hands down. No brushes, no complicated routine. You just use your fingers and go. And it gives you that your skin but better glow in under 60 seconds. I can't tell you how many compliments I have gotten. Boy, you must have gotten a lot of sleep. Or you look great. Or were you just on vacation? And Jones Road doesn't just have their famous Miracle Balm. They've built in a full lineup of effortless skin-first staples like their Just Enough tinted moisturizer. Every formula is packed with skin-loving ingredients. It nourishes your skin instead of clogging or caking, and it looks and feels natural, like you're not wearing makeup at all. Modern-day makeup that's clean, strategic, and multifunctional for effortless routines. And for a limited time, our listeners are getting a free cool gloss on their first purchase when they use code DTT at checkout. Just head to jonesroadbeauty.com and use the code DTT at checkout. After you purchase, they're going to ask you where you heard about them. And please support the show and tell them our show sent you.
Why does every recipe I try need 18 ingredients, including a jar of something paste I'll never use again, but will sit in my fridge for 9 months? I just want dinner in the oven, fast. That's why I love Blue Apron's new one-pan assemble and bake meals. They send you fresh ingredients that are already chopped. All you do is put it all together and bake. That's it. No chopping, no weird leftovers, just delicious, easy-to-make meals. Get 20% off your first 2 orders with code APRON20. Terms and conditions apply. Visit blueapron.com/terms for more.
Another thing I wanted to say about the idea of having throws on your table or in other places other than wrapped around you is that you might be able to find something at a yard sale or a consignment store or a thrift store kind of like someone else's blanket kind of gives me the like little bit of the willies, sort of. And you might, you could still get it dry cleaned and things like that. But like if I threw it over a side table or something like that, or I had a little pedestal table in a dark corner and I sort of artfully tossed, a tartan plaid fringed old Pendleton blanket or something over that, I'd be totally fine with that. Right.
Well,
rather than wrapping up with it.
Here's another idea. I actually have a file cabinet, and I didn't think it was attractive. I painted it. That helped. But at the end of the day, it still looked like a file cabinet. So you know what I did? I just put a Cantha quilt over it, and now it just looks like a little side table. And I'm getting ready to set up a table. But you could even do this with a chest that you think, isn't that pretty? You don't want to paint it. Drape a big blanket over it to the floor, and now you've got a really pretty side table.
Smart. So it was one of those like 2-drawer file cabinets? Mm-hmm.
Right. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Right, but I'm getting ready to, I have a desk, kind of an office-y table that's like 2 feet by 4 feet, and I'm planning to just push that against the wall and cover it with a nice big, I don't know, either piece of fabric or a blanket. And then use that as a sideboard.
You maybe have to purchase the paint, but maybe you have some paint on hand. Paint your entry a dark, moody color. I'm doing this with some clients right now, and we chose green smoke from Farrow and Ball. They have a very dark entry, dark and narrow, which a lot of people do. The dream is to change the front door to a Dutch door or a door with some glass. But that's not going to happen right now. The budget's not allowing that. So I said, let's lean into the dark a little bit and then add in some reflective decor. And we're also adding in some of the sconces that are not hardwired. Because there's an outlet right there. And we took sort of a table that was like kind of what I mentioned before, just kind of stuffed in a lonely corner and made it a console table in the hallway. And then we're doing the non-hardwired sconces, put a mirror there, which they were like, we don't even use mirrors. I'm like, it's not about using the mirror. It's not about checking your lipstick before you leave the house. It's about reflecting the light. And you really need that if you're going to do a darker color. So, oh my gosh, the Farrow and Ball, we got the big sample of it. So I know it's going to be perfect. We tried about 3 different greens and that was the one. It's going to be so lovely. And instead of trying to make it a light space by having sort of a lighter white or a beige or even a taupey color in there, just lean into the dark a little bit. And so maybe this time of year, lean into the dark a little bit.
I think that's a wonderful idea. And what about going in your yard and picking up some of those leaves that have fall color, maybe cut the whole branch off, and then put them in a vase or put them in a bowl? I think that's a great way to enjoy that fall color inside. You can grab some pears or apples and put those in a wood bowl. I think that is just such a wonderful, fresh look for fall. If you don't have a wood bowl, then you could just use kind of a rustic pottery mixing bowl. I think would give you a pretty similar look. But really any bowl full of pears or apples, it's just going to feel so warm and inviting for the season.
Getting back to the entry again, this is something I've toyed with. There's somebody I follow on Instagram, and I love her whole look. And she has a very similar palette to mine. I don't know exactly where she lives in the country, but she has a drape over her front door. You can picture this in maybe a British home or a home where it's colder most of the year and you're trying to really keep out the draft. But I think she's just doing it for the aesthetics, and that's why I would be doing it, not for draft, but also for me because I have a big oval glass piece in my front door where when I first moved in, I thought, oh, people can see you, but what am I doing in the entry at night? Not too much. I mean, maybe going up the stairs or walking through. So it's not, it really stopped bothering me. But when I saw what she had done, and she's used a fabric that I absolutely love, and I would probably use my absolute fave Schumacher fabric to do it. And I thought, well, I don't want to do it when my kids are still coming in and out so much. So I'm waiting. But I think it would add so much to my entryway. And it would also mask the ability for someone to see straight into the front door, almost like full length, because the oval is so big in my front door. And it would be super easy. Now, obviously, everybody's got a different entryway. And if you have an open concept home where you're opening up into 2 large rooms or 3 large rooms, you're not going to be able to pull this off. But if you have one of these kind of closed off, narrower type of entryways, it could be just a wonderful thing to add at this time of the year. You can do a rod from wall to wall and then just put it, I would suggest, on rings. You just want to keep in mind, what does both sides of the fabric look like? If you had a liner, it's going to look white from the outside. If you just use the fabric, then you're going to see the back end of the fabric. Or you could double it. And so you'd have the fabric, the true side of the fabric, on both sides, so you could see it from inside and out. And you really only have to do that if you've got some glass on your door. But it's just another layer of cozy to add, and probably not something people would normally think of these days. But it certainly would help if you had a heavier fabric and you do experience some drafts.
Oh, what a great cozy idea. And I'm thinking some other cozy things you can do is to add some furry pillows. You and I love the furry pillows, and now is the time I get them out, and I keep them out until spring. So this is something you can keep out from fall through winter. Add a lambskin rug to a chair or an ottoman. That's going to make it so comfortable. What about a fall wreath for your front door? I think that's just a wonderful time to make that inviting. It's fun to change that out for the seasons, and it does really add so much to a front door. So I love the idea of adding a seasonal wreath.
Oh, yeah, a little something by your front door. It's just so charming. You don't have to go crazy. It doesn't have to be, look like Front Gates catalog. Just right. Something simple. It would just be so beautiful and inviting and sort of setting the tone for what's happening when you come in. How about bringing in some dried hydrangeas? I bet a lot of you have hydrangeas, and if they haven't been pruned back yet, which, they're challenging to prune because you don't know if it's the kind that grows on the new wood or blooms on the old wood. So figure that out before you prune or clip. But if you've got some flowers that are still on the shrubs, then clip them off, don't put them in water, and just put them in some vases around, and they'll get that sort of really muted. Sometimes there are, definitely some greens, but sometimes the pink comes through and it's this sort of dusky pink, or the blue comes in, it's really faded. It's really pretty to add to an already existing arrangement, or just sitting alone in a vase, or that could even sit in a basket.
I love the dried hydrangea blooms, and I had some sitting out for a while, but they're only good for so long, and mine finally hit that spot and I had to toss them, but I enjoyed them for a long time. And another thing you can display are the feathers, like pheasant feathers. And remember when we were at Round Top and you bought that big bunch of the black feathers?
Oh, I'm so glad you mentioned that. I haven't brought those out yet. Yes, they're not in my fall box. I wonder where I put them, because I do just use them for the fall. I do use them sort of throughout the year, but they're so cool. And I love them. I bought so many of them, but I'll just put a few, maybe tuck them in under our velvet pumpkins, or I think they're really pretty in like a tarnished silver vase, or even a little creamer or something like that. I'll put a little handful of those in there.
I think that's a great idea. And, you can get any kind of feathers, and I wouldn't think they're too expensive, but that's a fun thing to have sitting out in maybe a silver vase or some other kind of vase in your house. I think it's just kind of a nice nod to the season, nothing too extravagant to set out, but I think those are great. And of course, this is the time when I get out my velvet pumpkins, which I do keep just put away the rest of the year. I don't buy new ones every year. I just have a set that I reuse every year, and they are so beautiful, and I love getting them out. They are my absolute favorite fall decor, and if I only put out one thing, that's what it is.
Yes, I love mine too. They're sitting proudly on my dining room table right now on a really beautiful platter. And I did tuck some things around them, but I'm going to go find where I put those feathers after we record today. The thing about feathers too is they're kind of unexpected. And so they really make an impact. I'm now recalling last year, I think I just used one on a stack of sort of fall colored books, and I put a little tiny baby boo white pumpkin with it. And that was part of the vignette in my entryway. And I just loved it every time I came in, and anybody that came in said, "Oh, feathers!" Like it's just something you don't usually see. And certainly, if you get the big dramatic ones, I remember I got asked to create a fall wreath for P. Allen Smith's website a couple of years ago, and I wanted to do something really a little bit different. And I ordered some beautiful feathers from Amazon, and they were golds and browns, and they were just so great and so easy to use in one of those grapevine wreaths, because you can kind of just stick them in where you want them. You don't even have to use glue because they just poke right in. And then if you ever wanted to use the grapevine wreath again, make something else, a different seasonal wreath, then you could just pull the feathers out.
So what about also having your firewood sitting out? Bring that in and have that in a lovely basket. And better yet, how about even have a fire going in your fireplace?
Take the time to frame something you love. I've got a few things that are just sitting around that I would love to have on my walls. I just haven't taken the time to do it. And you can buy frames I said buy again, but you maybe you have a frame. Maybe you have something in a frame that you don't like and you can take it out and switch it around. That's a possibility. But you can find very simple black wooden frames on Amazon, and they always look good and they kind of suit every decor. And there's your touch of black if you do that. And I recently did that with a really big botanical that I had bought on Etsy. And I am ashamed to tell you all how long that sat in the poster roll that it came in, because I was like, oh, I want to get a really good frame. Oh, should I send it away to one of those frame stores that are online? I took it to a local frame store because I like to shop local when I can. And it was so ridiculously expensive to get it done. And while the print was not cheap, and I didn't print it out myself, it came on this lovely paper, and it's very large, and I have it in my kitchen now and I love it. But I just found a frame on Amazon that was like $20, and there you go, it's done. Have something, and I'm saying it out loud to you guys, so I'm going to do it this week. I have a pennant, like the old-timey college pennants or school pennants, that shape, it's kind of in that felt, and it has the little the little tails on it, and it says preservation on it, and it's from the Instagram site, I think, Love of Old Houses. It's great, and I love it, and it's black with white lettering, and the little fringes on the ends are gold, so it's totally in my color palette. I tested it on the wall. I love it where I want to put it, but it needs a frame. It'll look so, I don't want it to look like I have in like a dorm room pennant up. I want to frame it. So now that I'm saying out loud, you're all going to make me do it. I'm going to do that this week. I've been meaning to do it. It'll look great on the wall. So if you've got something sitting around, something that's maybe just sitting on the ground, leaning against the wall, or it's rolled up, or you haven't printed it out yet, or something like that, get to it. You're going to be inside now because it's dark out, because it's the end of daylight savings. So you've got time for this.
That's right. And a few more items. And these are my last few. And these are all natural things. And again, hopefully you have this on hand, but you can find it somewhere. I'm not going to use the BUI word. Deer sheds, faux or real. Those are the antlers of the deer. When the deer are out, they do fall off. So we call them sheds. But you can buy the faux ones also, and it doesn't hurt the deer. It's just a natural thing that happens. But, a basket of those is so nice for the fall, or them just kind of spread around on your table, mixed in with candles and some of your leaves. I think that's a great look for fall. And also, it's a great time to run to Trader Joe's or your grocery store and grab some pumpkins. I do love that.
Okay, are you suggesting they steal them because we can't buy them?
No, I'm saying you would just get them as part of your grocery, so they don't count.
Absolutely, it doesn't count.
If it's on your grocery bill, it's groceries.
That doesn't count. Put that in the basket.
That's right. So, yeah. Well, we did our best. Hey, most of this stuff is stuff that you hopefully have on hand.
And if you don't, maybe someday you will. Hey, how about picking a cozy scent? Anita talked about candles. Think about pulling out different candles that you probably have already back there. You don't want to have necessarily the gardenia burning right now, go back in there. I don't really like the pumpkin smell. I don't really like food smell candles, but maybe you do, and maybe you've got one on there. I kind of like more of like a tiki smell, not like tiki bar, like a teak wood or oak or a sandalwood. That's kind of my go-to scent. So things like that are great for the fall. Get a soup recipe going. Put it on the stove. That's going to be so cozy and make your house smell so good, and then feed your family. So you're like hitting all the marks.
Well, speaking of the kitchen, we have a friend who has a kefir pear tree in his yard, and it was just loaded with pears. He had way too many, and he gave them to us at church a few days ago. And we were kind of looking at them and realizing that you cannot eat them. You can't just bite into them because they're super hard. And doing a little research, they're really only good for baking and canning. And I'm trying to avoid the sugar and the refined sugar and grains. So I didn't really want to bake a pie. So what I did was I sliced the pears and threw them in a baking dish with loads of butter, some cinnamon, a little bit of coconut sugar, which is a lot easier on your system than, refined white sugar.
Oh.
It's not nearly as sweet either, so you have to get used to that. And just a little pinch of salt. Popped that in the oven for about 20 minutes at 350. My house smelled so wonderful. And when they came out, they were so delicious. And, it was just right for me, but, you could just buy some pears at the store. Mm-hmm. Again, they don't count because they're part of your grocery bill. And pop those in the oven with the cinnamon. It's going to make your house smell wonderful, and then you're going to enjoy eating them. And you can have ice cream on yours if you want. I mean, I can't because I'm avoiding the sugar, but I think that would be amazing with it. It was so delicious. We love them so much.
Oh my gosh, what a great use of them. And they probably just look so pretty in the bowl too, before they got into the pan. Oh, yeah. That is a great way to do it. And that sounds like a very sophisticated looking dessert if you were having dinner guests or something like that. It would be really beautiful to present that. I would want a little ice cream, I must say. But yeah, I think it sounds delicious.
that would be super easy without the crust. Yeah. But you can buy a pie crust too and just throw them in there. That's basically your recipe. I mean, they're just so easy to do.
How about changing out your bedding? So I bet you've got bedding in your cabinets and your cupboards or your trunks that you could pull out and just change it up a little bit. If you've got a lot of lighter colors, maybe you want to do something a little deeper, maybe something a little woollier. And Anita loves folding something up at the end of the bed. I do as well. That's a great way to add a layer. So even if you're not changing out colors, maybe you add a layer, maybe you add a different bolster or accent pillow, something, maybe a furry one, maybe a velvet one, something that's going to be more of a nod to the cooler weather and the darker days. So what are we defining today?
We are defining KD, or knocked down. And this applies to pieces that are shipped unassembled or only partially assembled. So anything you buy from IKEA pretty much is going to be knocked down. Now, because you're going to put it together when you get home, that's why we would call that knocked down.
Okay, but you don't call it knocked up because you're putting it together. You call it knocked down.
It's knocked down. That's something that is not this podcast. You're going way off road here.
It's like you're not breaking it down. You're actually putting it together.
Well,
so
they knocked it down technically to send it to you, I guess.
But I guess knocked up was already taken. So
I think that's already taken. So this is to reduce the shipping cost, but also to make the items smaller. Perhaps maybe you bought something really large that's not going to fit through your door. So you would need those knocked down. So, if you order cabinets, custom-made cabinets, maybe, or maybe not custom-made, but cabinets for your kitchen, they're going to be knocked down to some extent in that they're not all going to be assembled. They're going to be put together there. We recently bought some pretty large doors for our house, and we ordered them knocked down. So it had to be assembled when it got in the house, and they were just going to be too big to bring through the front door, and that's why we needed them knocked down. So that is just a good term to know.
KD. And so if something says KD, like on the description, then you know what it is.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. But I think you're probably not going to see that much because a lot of furniture that you buy online, they don't use that term, but it is going to be knocked down. But they don't call it out, except they just say assembly required.
Gotcha. Allen wrench in hand.
That's right. So what is your crush today?
Oh, a really great book. Hey, another wonderful thing to add to the episode today is a wonderful book to read in your cozy book nook or listen to, which is how I listen to it. The book is by Ann Patchett. I love Ann Patchett's work. I've read a lot of her other novels and book of essays recently. I heard her speak at the Southern Book Festival a couple of years ago. I just really, really like her. Her newest book is called Tom Lake. I highly recommend it. I did listen to it on Audible, and guess who read the book?
Who?
Meryl Streep.
Oh, nice.
That was great.
Nice.
It was so great. She had Tom Hanks read A Dutch House, which was her last big novel, but Tom Lake is fantastic. So I think everybody will enjoy it, whether you're reading it yourself or having Meryl read it to you.
For my crush, I have a gorgeous tissue box holder that I bought from Etsy. You know, we love buying things from Etsy, from small businesses, and I think we have highlighted this particular shop before. It's Maria Holt Designs. Does that sound familiar?
It does.
Mm-hmm. So she makes these gorgeous pieces. They're tissue box holders, I think little trash cans and other things that you would think of maybe with paper mache and paper on it that's decoupaged. But these are so beautiful. And this one had a beautiful design with a bird, I think, and there's some greenery in it. And so the way she makes them, she calls it a 9-stage process. And she applies rare papers onto sturdy paper mache forms. Then she covers them at least with 4 or 5 coats of polyurethane on the outside and at least 2 on the inside. So they're durable, they're waterproof. And the one I got is so beautiful in the room. I'm so happy I bought it, and I think you're going to really like it when you see it. It's really beautiful, but obviously the one I bought is no longer available, but she has so many beautiful designs. I think you're going to enjoy and find something that you like there.
Are they all one-offs?
Well, I think she maybe just does one or a couple of each design. Mm-hmm. I think that's so she can have so many, lots to choose from. So I don't think she wants to have a lot of inventory of any particular design so that, people have choices.
Oh, wow. How beautiful. Oh, that's great. I do remember the name, but I didn't remember what she did. So is that exclusively what she does, the decoupage type of work?
I think so. I have not looked closely at her shop lately, but in the past, that's what I remember.
Fantastic. That's a good one. Thanks so much for hanging out with us today. Make yourself cozy, and remember, we are here to inspire you to create a beautiful home. Until next time. Want to talk to us? Well, we really want to talk to you. So let's schedule a design consult. Anita and I are here to give you individualized, actionable advice on how to create the beautiful home you want and deserve. It's so easy to schedule a design consult with us. Simply click the link in the show notes or head to decoratingtipsandtricks.com/consult. When we talk to you on the scheduled time, we will be ready with so many great tips, advice, and yes, tricks. So sign up today for a design consult. We can't wait to talk to you.